I feel like I'm watching a Dateline movie. One side says everything's going great, and the other side says it's going horrible. So let me talk about from my district, because I represent the people from my district today. I'd like to begin by just sharing more about the complaints that I've received in my short time period this year. I have 4 constituents who have contacted my office because they have yet to receive their 2022 tax refunds. Some have thousands of dollars stuck in limbo as they wait for their tax refund credits. Others can't get assistance from the IRS via phone despite waiting on hold for hours. They can't get updates on their delayed refund status. The phone system really seems to be an issue. I have a constituents who run small businesses and say they can't get an answer on the status, not just the status of their employee return on their tax credit applications. My office recently helped a constituent who had trouble with IRS releasing their deceased father's last tax refund. This refund, which totaled $30,000, was finally released after my casework team and the taxpayer advocate service intervene, as well as the accountant. These are just kind of a handful of the frustration from my constituents. Maybe my office is alone on this, and the people on the other side of the aisle have no issues. So just interesting. Although these cases are specific to my constituents, the underlying fact pattern is essentially the same across the country. It seems like the IRS is not performing efficiently or effectively. So my question is, why can't the IRS provide taxpayers with quality phone service, at least in my district? And if
Madam Chairwoman, I appreciate the opportunity to respond. First, I think we did have a tremendously improved filing season from 2022 to 2023 as a result of the infusion of Inflation Reduction Act funds. Specifically, we were able to immediately hire 5,000 new customer service representatives and put them on the phones. So for those that called during filing season, and that's the end of January to mid-April, we were able to answer 87% of those calls with a 3-minute wait time. Now, there's more to do. And some of the issues that you were raising, I was ticking off in my brain different modernization plans that we have underway. So for example, if you file your original tax return electronically and you give us a bank account that we can automatically debit, for those taxpayers, on average, you get your refund within 13 days. That's what we achieved. But if you don't file electronically, now you're in a paper process.
Which takes longer.
And
totally understand that.
And look, American taxpayers should have a choice. We would love for them to file online, but if they choose to file on paper.
So is your assumption that they're filing on paper, and if they just move to the electronic?
I think that would incredibly improve their odds of getting their.
I'm talking about the phone service. So whether you file electronically or whether you file paperly, if I call you, I still need to get someone on the phone to speak with. I mean, I just met with a constituent that their information, or they've been trying to get information from you since February. They said that they would get an answer by October 20th. Somebody would call them back with the status of just an answer. It's the 24th. We still haven't had an answer. I mean, this is a small business in our community. That has to do with customer service.
Yeah, let me offer 2 things that will help. Obviously, adding more customer service reps, training them, that's all in process. The second thing that will help is modernizing our call center, investing in things like more callback options, like if you can sign up, we'll call you back in queue. It also means more automation. There are certain things that can be done by pressing buttons versus waiting for a human, and maybe your constituents need the human, but if other people in the queue can be deflected to automation.
And one last point before my time is up.
Go ahead.
So I think what you're saying is if we can modernize our systems, people would get a return call faster.
Yeah. And
directionally. Okay.
Absolutely.
If that's the case, then why in the Inflation Reduction Act is only roughly $7 billion targeted to system modernization and taxpayer service, and the other out of the $80 billion, I mean, if that's the problem, goes to enforcement and operational support. With that, I'll yield back. The chair now recognizes, hang on, the ranking member, Mr. Infume.
Thank you very much, Madam